All right. So basically, what we're gonna be doing is we're gonna be reading these questions. Do you want even or odd? This is what I gotta ask.
Eh, uh, uh, you just, I had no
Even.
preparation for
You get
this
it.
recording.
You get even or odd.
Odd.
Okay, then you get this. All right, so you get all the odd numbers. So you'll ask, all the odd numbers, and then I'll
Yeah.
ask all the even. Now, if you want to make it feel like it's a question towards me, go ahead. If you want to ask it as an in general that both of us ask it, then you can do that. A lot of these questions are more for me, but I thought of changing it up a bit and asking the questions in general, and that way we both answer them. So we get two opinions
Basically,
on it.
basically, I'm just so cool that he had to add me into the video.
Yeah, but also because you were kind of the only reason for the views out there is the reason I chose musical out of all people is because he was kind of the one person that actually helped me start all of this streaming and YouTube and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, you were. I I think my first ever Minecraft stream and everything was Bed Wars with you.
That's crazy.
Yeah, and then I kind of just went on from there. And I know we don't have a lot of YouTube videos, but I know I have like a lot of clips of like me and you. So yeah, you were kind of like the person that helped me start all of this. So it was fit to bring you here.
I was.
I was. Wait, me? Just pops up an anime picture. Oh man, thank you.
Thank you, Monster Kun.
No, no, stop. I'm also kind of sick, so if I end up just going completely silent or you hear a bit of coughing, that's why. I can't seem to figure out why, but I do have a cough, so it's just there. But whenever you're ready, let's start.
Then why are you gay?
You know what's funny about this question? I'm not gonna say I am before anyone gets any ideas. I got this question, right, and I was writing it down because I was gonna forget about all these questions, and I went to go look at my first Q&A video, and what's funny about this question is that this is the first question that was on my last Q&A.
I see.
Yeah,
See, we're bringing it
bringing it
around.
back. Watch every
We
Q&A in the future now is just gonna
got
be
we
it's
have
gonna it's
two
gonna
separate
start off
ideas.
with why are you gay?
I'm also gonna answer this question.
You gonna answer it?
No, answer first. I want you to answer first.
Oh. I'm not gay. I'm straight as a plank.
See, this is where my answer comes in. He's not gay. He's just homosexual. He's gay for the homies. He
I
loves the
I
homies.
am. I am. I am. I am. I gotta kiss the homies goodnight. It's just bro code. You
I'm
can't,
gone. I'm gone.
ladies. You can't be mad.
You can't be mad at the homies.
How dumb are you? I'm actually pretty retarded. Not gonna lie. I've started to notice in old clips and like footage that I say a lot of stuff that makes kind of sense right at that moment because there's a lot of footage out there, especially in a what is it in my off the air video that is currently in the works at this moment of recording. There's a little foreshadowing. There's a part where I'm talking about how dispute on terms when it comes to Valorant of like when I'm off Valorant and when I'm completely off the game, meaning like I'm not uh, there's so there's two terms that I use and I forgot what they are, but one means that I'm off Valorant at that moment in time. I'm just like off the screen, tabbed out, all of that, right? And there's a different version that I say that means I have completely logged off the game, meaning I don't have it on. And me and my cousins get a little heated argument about it, and I'm like, I was rewatching it, and I was like, what the hell was I saying? I was like, I was so retarded. I was like, I'm going to agree with my cousin. I was like, he is so right. And I've noticed that a lot. Like, I get into a lot of arguments with people thinking that I'm right. And then I'm like, whatever. Right. And then I look back at the footage and I'm like, yeah, they were kind of right on that one.
I'm gonna answer the question as well.
Yeah,
I
go ahead.
feel like I'm dumb to a certain extent. If I say something dumb, that's gonna happen. I'm human. I do a lot of stupid things, and sometimes it's intentional. But if I do something dumb and then an accidental, and I'm gonna go back to what Monster said about arguments. When you're angry, you don't think rationally.
Yeah.
So I'm dumb to I'm to the point of normal dumb, unless in a mood where I will be dumber.
Yeah.
I think that's the best way to explain it.
Yeah. I find it kind of funny because then it's like what are these two people arguing about, and then you realize like there are some clips out there that it's kind of stupid in a way that it's like, why are they arguing about this in the first place? And then you kind of like look into it and you're like, oh, I get that. The funniest way to describe it is this clip right here.
It's only for my guy got yeeted. I got yeeted.
My man got yeeted in the sky.
Am I your man?
You are not my man. Don't ever say that. Oh. That's like don't do not try to take that out of context.
Monster, it's only weird if you make it weird, and you just made it weird.
But you made it weird by saying it in the first place.
Yeah, because
I said my guy. I said my guy got yeeted. I didn't say my man.
Oh, I heard my man.
Musical was right. He was right. Musical was right. He did. I've watched that clip a lot. That it was my man and not my guy. Musical was right in that whole aspect.
Loser. Anyways.
All right, on to the next question.
How dyslexic are you?
Dyslexic means like writing, right? Writing or reading? Which one is it? I feel like it's one of those two. I might have to search it. I'm probably that dyslexic.
Which one's the I? Which one's the...
Oh no! Actually, I can tell. That's dyslexic. Okay. I can't say for sure. I mean, I have seen those TikToks where it's like, which one's the I and which one's the L type thing, and they all look like barcode lines. I can't say.
I can't agree to that.
I can't say I'm fully dyslexic, and I can't say I'm not, because dyslexia, whatever you call it, is I don't know too much about it, so I can't really say I am dyslexic and I'm not.
Dyslexia is a reading disorder, and there's levels of dyslexia, and there are definitely levels of dyslexia.
Oh, then I'm gonna say I'm mild. I'm not going to say I'm bad. I'm not going to say I'm in the clear. So to give an example, I don't like reading, right? I don't really like reading books because I find them to be kind of boring to me. Unlike if you're like reading comics and manga, right? They have images to show what's happening within books. You kind of have to imagine it. And if you keep reading, sometimes you get the wrong idea, and then you got to like reimagine the whole situation, and it's kind of just it puts me to sleep. Right, but there are times where I can read so slow that it puts me to sleep, or I can read so fast, right? I can read a paragraph really fast, but the problem is that at the end of it all, I have no idea what I read.
Monster's level, because I can understand because it's my own level, is at a point where like you in general struggle with reading, but it's not a problem. It's a problem that can be fixed if you work hard enough for it. And sometimes the dyslexia are like that, but not all of it. Monster struggles to read sometimes, but he can excel at reading depending on how interested in the subject he is. Yeah. That has a certain level of dyslexia.
Yeah. And so, you'll see that in like videos and stuff. I'll sit there, I'm like our Doki Doki Literature Club thing. I was like all the way back last year. Was it last year? No.
I think it was.
I think it was. Was it 2021 or 2022? It was one of those years.
I can't remember.
But I might have to go look back on it. But I remember that I was struggling so much to read that Music would have to sit there and like, Monster, it's actually pronounced. I'm like let me read. Like, one thing I cannot read, and I get kind of dogged on about this, is I can't read cursive. And a lot of people out there can, but the thing is that I was never taught. Like, back in Canada, cursive was kind of something that we were supposed to learn, right, at a young age, and I didn't really learn until like 7th grade, right? Because then they were like, well, my teacher was like, I'm starting to notice that a lot of you don't know how to read cursive and write it, so here's a little packet, right? She gave us like a big, like, paper book and we flip through it and it's supposed to be how to teach you how to do cursive. But at some point, everyone just kind of gave up and it never happened. Here in the US, though, a lot of people were taught how to write cursive at a young age, that people can write in cursive. And it kind of messes me up because I'm like, I have no idea what you just wrote me.
I can agree. We have learned cursive at a very young age, but I have not learned how to read cursive for the life of me. Cut to the clip of Doki Doki Literature Club where Monster said he didn't know how to read cursive and he did nothing.
Oh yeah, I'll probably have to go look for that clip too, because it's like, actually, no, it's in my it's in your
Google Drive because you sent it to me.
No, it's in I forgot what the video is called, but I'll have a little pop up for the video for you guys.
It's in your Best of 2020 something.
Yeah, best of my 2020 something. I don't remember. It's been so long.
I don't think it wasn't there though.
No, it is, because I mentioned it was one of the clips. I was like, I don't know how to read cursive. Are you autistic? I would say yes. I'm not actually, but I feel like there are some things that I do and I'm like, man, that kid's autistic.
Monster is not autistic. He just has ADHD. ADHD is not considered to be like ADHD and autism are two separate things. Monster definitely has ADHD.
Oh,
do I think he's autistic? No.
I do have.
Same thing.
Same
thing with me.
I think I've been told, because I had a speaking of ADHD, this is gonna be real quick. I was sitting down at art class at my school before summer. They're like, Monster, do you have ADHD? And I said, what? And they were like, ADHD. Do you have ADHD? And I said, I don't know what that is. And they went to explain it, but of course I don't remember what it was. They were like, all right, let's put it more simple. And they were like, are you hyperactive? And I said, sometimes. They were like, do you like to... Like, ADHD. Do you like to do this and that and blah blah? And I'm like, yes. I was like, yes. And they're like, you have ADHD. And I said, man, I have a disorder. Sweet. But they were like, yeah, there's like pills and stuff. I was like, I don't want pills. I was like, I'm fine as it is. Unless unless ADHD can progress to be something worse that I need pills.
It can.
Then I will get it like checked out and stuff. But right now, my mindset is like, my mom will walk in here sometimes into my room or into my office, and she'll go like, your desk is a mess, right? And here's the one thing that people say that they can relate with ADHD is that my desk can be a complete mess, right? But if you ask like, hey, do you have like this or that, I can grab it instantly because I know where it is, right? There are times where I'm like, oh, this place is absolutely disgusting, I gotta clean it, and then I'll make it completely clean, to the point my mom walks in, she's like, wow. She like, first of all, she'll walk in and go like, wow, you're cleaning for once, and then she'll see like the final product and she's like, wow, this is really nice, you did great. And then it only takes like a week or so and then everything is back to what it was.
I can't agree. It is a lot easier to find the stuff when it's a mess. I don't know the science to it, but it definitely is easy.
I think it's just
everything is.
I think it's just like, because you've seen it there and you've put it there, everyone knows. Like, it's like my mom. It's like she always sits there and she'll go like, go upstairs to my room and go look at the left and to this blah 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 and everything, and you'll find what I'm asking you for right there. And then you go up there and you try to look for it, and then you're like, it's not here. But when she walks upstairs, she's like, it's right here, right? I think it's more of just like, you know where it is, so of course you're gonna know where to grab it and find it, right? But if you send someone else, like if I were to go like, musical, can you go grab such and such, and you're like, yeah, I can go grab it, and then you come here and look at my desk, you're like, I have no idea where I'm gonna look for this thing.
And this is why we believe mom has superpowers when it comes to finding things.
Oh yeah, have you seen those TikToks where it's like, mom, I can't find it, and they walk up to a chair and then they make it look glitch and then they pull out the sweater and I'm like, what the? I was like, that's so true.
Moms constantly clean the house, so they know where everything is. But like, when it comes to our rooms, it's because we live in here all the time. We've been here the most. Yeah. When we find something, we put it down somewhere close because we're lazy. We don't want to put it back where we originally found it. But we're more likely to remember where we put it out of laziness
than out of neediness.
Because it's convenient for us.
Yeah,
that's more convenient than for putting it away in a nice place, because we're gonna forget about it and then forget where we put it. On a scale of 1 to 10, what number are you? Now this question confuses me, because are you talking about looks, personality, or as a YouTuber in general?
I think it's just like number, like what, like within like because if they would have asked, they would have gone like on a scale of 1 to 10, like how good of a YouTuber are you? How good looking are you? They would ask that. I think when they mean like
I feel like it'd
number.
be.
No, go on. Go.
I feel like we're just constantly talking over each other.
I know.
So it's like, I feel like it would be a better idea if we just, do all three, because that way we have a very accurate scale to like, so like for different categories. That way people like have a better understanding about us, on our own personal view on ourselves.
Yeah, like me when I was looking at this number, I was kind of like, did they mean like looks, this or that? And then they were like, just in number in general. I was like, I'm gonna go with 6 because
the question is too vague, so you don't really know what they're coming from.
Yeah,
which is why I'm gonna answer in all 3 categories I said before. Looks, I'm gonna give myself a 7.5. I like how I look, but I think I could do better. Their personality, I'm gonna give myself an 8.5. I think I have pretty good personality. And as a YouTuber, I'm definitely gonna say I'm not as good as I think, and I definitely need to learn a lot more. So I'm gonna say 5.5.
I think in looks, I'll give myself a 4.5, maybe a 5. I'm not.
That's so low.
I know, but here, let me explain. Like, I'm not that good looking, right, at all. But I feel like if I know what to do and if I know what I'm doing, I could make myself look a little bit better, right?
Yeah.
So that's why it's low right now. In the future, it could change, depending. Okay. Personality, I'd say either a 6 or a 7. I watched some of the footage that if I'm just by myself doing videos, sometimes it can be a 7 because I have to make up the jokes on the spot and this and that, and it kind of helps me do improvisation, right? But I give myself a 6 because when I'm with my friends and stuff, I'm no longer not like in the spotlight, but it kind of, I can't make jokes off the spot because everyone else does it, and then I can kind of add on to that, but I can't go really far with it, right?
I want to chime in with this for like anyone who's starting up YouTube.
Yeah.
Anyone who's starting YouTube. This is like a general thing. When you're in YouTube and you're recording and you're with a whole bunch of people, your mindset changes because when you're by yourself, it's like I'm the person, I'm the one in control. I know what I need to say, I know what I need to do. But when you're in a group with a whole bunch of people and the script can be completely randomized because it's, they're just playing the game and having fun. They make the jokes, but you realize at the end of the day, since you're the streamer, you have to be slightly aware of when someone says something that's not okay or when someone does something that's not okay. So you're a bit more in a serious position than you are compared to when you're streaming.
Plus, if you don't like them taking the spot, you could just cut them out of the video. You're like, that joke's too funny. I gotta cut it out. I gotta make myself look better.
So true, but in reality, here's the real asshole move. You just replay the clip, then you do it on your own time.
Yeah, and honestly, I don't care if people outshine me in my videos. At the end of the day, I kind of just I like hanging out and recording with people, and I find that kind of really fun to do. So at the end of the day, it's not really me caring about how the video is gonna be. It's just me hanging out with my friends, because there are times you'll see in streams and on videos that I kind of just forget that we're making a video or that I'm kind of streaming, so I just hang out with them, and there'll be times where I'll watch the chat go off and I'm like, oh crap, I was like, hello chat, because I'm so focused on just hanging out with people and recording that I just kind of blank on everything else. So that's why a lot of the times in videos it's more of just me being me, instead of being in YouTube mode where it's like, all right guys, now we're just gonna go sit down at this table and wait for our coffee.
At the end of the day, funny is funny.
Funny is funny. Yes.
Funny is funny.
Why do you choose your name to be Monster? I've explained this one a lot of times, and the majority of why I call myself Monster is because of musical and Phantasm. So a while back, I wanted to make so I had an Xbox 360, right? And when I had an Xbox 360, at this time I was kind of young, so my dad didn't allow me to have my own account. So I had to there was this thing where you can add guests, but it would be it'd be like the email
yes.
and then, you know, parentheses 1, and then you'd use that account. And it's basically your own account. You could do whatever you want, unlock achievement and stuff. But once you sign out of that account, the account's kind of gone forever. So you'd have to like reset everything. So I used to just play off my dad's account. Well, one time in the future, Minecraft had brought out, you know, Bedrock, kind of Bedrock Edition, but it's basically Pocket Edition, but it was updated to be cross-platform with everything. And my dad had bought it, and we downloaded it, but I needed an Xbox account. He was like, use mine, but you couldn't really use the same account and then join. So we had to make my own. And that's where Pro Gamer Geo came in, right? That was my username until I had to switch it to 1.
Oh, shit, that was your username.
It was. So I had to switch it to that. And that's something I went with for a long time. And when I had a computer and stuff, I found out how to record and everything. And I wanted to start recording. But the moment that I tried to do that, I had to... There was this whole system. My mom was like, you have to go online. You have to make sure that no one has taken that username besides you. Because if you kind of... don't look into it, then someone can share that exact same name, and it can kind of really mess everything up, right? So I ended up going with, I had to look into it more, and sure enough, someone had taken the username on YouTube, and they were already posting, and they had a few followers. You know, I could have gone with it and had more followers than him, and he would have had to change it or something, but I was like, I was young, so I was kind of like, man, someone took it, I gotta change my name.
You know,
so
it sucks when someone takes your name. It really does.
Yeah, it's just like at that point I was kind of like, whatever, I'll just make up a new name. So One Eye Monster came in, and when you would spell it out, it'd be ONEEYE and then monster, right? But the thing was that having 2 E's kind of looked weird, so I put it as ONEYE, having the end of the 1 and the beginning of the I share 1 E, right? And I thought it looked cool, right? So I started making videos and stuff like that. And after I had met like Phantasm, because I was already named One Eye Monster when I met Musical, when I met Phantasm, I had to make an account and stuff for Minecraft and stuff, and I didn't know like the username, so I put in, you know, One Eye Monster, and they would make fun of me. They're like, Oni Monster? I'm like, no, it's One Eye, and then I would constantly have to explain it and going back and forth and back and forth. At some point, Musical shut up. At one point, me and Phantasm just like had a talk about it, and then at some point I think he just like said to change it, and I did. So I needed a new name. And one night I was scrolling through TikTok, and there was like cool ways to like up your Instagram profile and this and that, and like username, it's like put this and then your username and stuff. So ITZ_ came in. I was like, it's monster. I was like, I like that, because it's saying like when you say, oh, it's monster, right? Not only are you saying my username, but you're mentioning me myself, right? Not just monster in general, but like me physically, right? But then I was like, well, I can't put just monster there, because now it's just going to make it like, what type of monster with this and that. So then I put 06 at the end, because 06 represents the day I was born, the year I was born, and the first ever Sonic game I ever played, which is so shit. But it was Sonic 06. That was the first ever Sonic game I played, and it has a special heart, because that's where my love of Sonic came in, you know. So that's where that 06 comes in. So that's basically how I went from like Pro Gamer Geo to all the way to Monster, right? And a lot of people just call me Monster, because back then it was so much easier than saying One Eye Monster, like, hey, One Eye Monster, or anything like that. So people just called me Monster, and that's when I shortened it to It's Monster. So now everyone still to this day still only calls me Monster.
Make a video about Roblox.
Make a video about. I think I've made some videos on Roblox. I'm not entirely sure if they're on my channel or not, but I know that I have some. But I can definitely record some more Roblox videos. I just have to find some games to play on there.
Can I answer as well?
Yeah, go
ahead. Sure. I would also be down to make some Roblox videos on my channel, which will be plugged at the end of the video. So
maybe. Maybe.
Ain't no way I'm carrying this whole freaking Q&A. You're not gonna plug me in this game.
It's like no shot. I'm gonna be spending my time and not getting clout.
I'm trying to be funny for these questions. I'm getting direct answers, and I don't even get a block. Anyways, the video cuts. The video
just cuts here. Do Canadians have maple syrup laser beams? No, we don't.
What? They don't?
No, we don't. You know what's funny? Some people thought when they first met me, they were like, do you live in igloos? They were like, do you live in igloos? And I was like, no. I was like, why do you think that? And they're like, well, we just seen images and stuff like that. And I was like, yeah, I don't live in igloos. I was like, it is nice and cold up there, but I don't live in igloos.
Sorry, I zoned out. My mom yelled at me because I was swearing.
All good.
I'm trying to be funny, and my mom's yelling at me for swearing. Thoughts on Mario's 2D as Acid Adventure?
Thoughts on it?
I don't know what that is. Yeah.
Oh, they're talking about Super Mario Wonder, the new one that's coming out. Thoughts on it? I like it. So if you haven't seen like gameplay of it, basically what it is, it's a new 2D style. So it's like original Mario, but it looks a bit more like comic book, right? So it kind of shows some new elements and stuff. There's new things, new mechanics and stuff. And the only reason I'm gonna go buy it is, one, it's a classic 2D style, but also you can play as Daisy, and Daisy is one of my favorite characters, and you can finally play her in the Mario games. Yup, sick. Can blind people dream? You want to answer this one?
Yes.
I say yes because blind people sleep, so they're bound to dream at some point.
Here's my argument. And you close your eyes and you picture your room. You can mentally see the image of your room.
Oh yeah, you can. There are times where I close my eyes and you can, like, if you move your hand, even though your eyes are closed, you can kind of see it because your mind knows what your hand looks like, so it can, even if it doesn't know detail, it can show the layout of it because you've seen it so many times that your mind can physically like show your hand, even though you're not looking at anything.
And if you think about it in the actuality of it, like, you see things in your dreams, even if your eyes are closed, where you should be seeing nothing. So I'm gonna say yes. And plus, dream does not. I know what you mean by dream, but like, the definition of dream is just sleeping. So yes.
Yeah.
People can sleep. Why would you adopt me? Oh, I forgot to read the next question.
I was gonna go with the bit, but then I was like, nah, I'm not gonna risk it. I'm not adopting people because, one, I'm too young, and two, I'm not ready to be a dad. There is, I have to find it, and I gotta put it in a video. But there's a guy. Thank you. But no, there was this one time I was playing Overwatch in one of my streams, and someone was like, man, you got a nice mic and this and that. And then they had asked, they were like, how old are you? And I was like, I'm only 17. They're like, 17? They were like, you sound like a dad. And I said, I sound like a dad? He's like, yeah. And it's kind of cool because I was explaining to my mom and she started laughing. When I first met Musical, the night that we had met, I had such a deep voice that people called me Corpse. But then after that, as the day went by, my voice came back as usual, and they were like, wow, you sound like you're 17, 18. And I was like, you want to know how old I am? They're like, how old? I was like, I'm only 13. They were like, really? And now that I told her that, I was like, now that I'm 17, right? People think I'm like a father now. And I was like, it's crazy how my voice has like only changed within like a few years, but it makes me sound so much older and stuff. So I found that funny. My mom started laughing. She was like, you do sound like a dad.
And now that I'm 18, I'm surprised by the amount of people who think I'm like 6 years old.
Oh man, it's crazy how voices can change one's perspective on how old you are.
People normally think I'm 4 years old.
They think you're 4.
Anyways, next question. Next question.
All right. he's like in the corner, like huddling. They think I'm 4. Can you buy me thigh-high socks? I know who sent this one, and this is the only question I ever answered like in person. And I told him, I was like, yeah, I'll buy you them when I start making money off of videos, because that's something that I want to do. Is like when I make money off of videos, I tell my parents that all the money I make would just go to them, because one, I would spend it in a heartbeat, but also it's just because they're the ones that always bought me clothes and food and all that. So it'd be basically returning the favor, and they would hold all the money because I would spend it. So it's more, and it's just more of like, if they need it and stuff, they could just take it and use it without having to ask me like, hey, can I borrow some money? I'm like, you carry all my money. I have to come to you to ask if I can spend it.
This is not the answer I was expecting.
What were you expecting?
I was expecting this to go a really funny route, and I thought it was gonna be one of your bro homies, and they're just gonna go like, "Oh, ew, gross! I would never buy thigh highs for a guy."
Ew, dude, no, I would never. What?
I wasn't done yet. I wasn't done yet, and then I was gonna put thigh highs on my Minecraft character.
Just like, it's like, ew, no. It's like, I'll cash app you the money.
No, you don't say anything, and I'm just running in the background with the thigh highs, just like, I got him.
Just in a maid dress.
No, I would never put my skin in a maid dress. I would put it in thigh highs. No. Hey, monster, question. Say I gave you 8 apples, right? And then you ate 2 of them. What's the total mass of the sun?
The total mass of the sun is 1.9891 times 10 to the power of 30 kilograms.
We had this thing pre-typed on Google.
I had to type that out, actually. I totally forgot that I had to. Oh wait, no, hold on. Okay, wait. So it's 1.9891 times 10 to the power of 30 kilograms equals to 4.384 times 10 to the power of 30 in pounds, and that equals to 2.192 x times not x times 10 to the power of 27 tons, or a mass of 333,000 times that of the Earth. So yeah, so it's 333 tons, or mass. What was the question? Mass or tons?
Mass.
Yeah, there you go. What's darker? Oh.
You had to put in the question now in your video.
We're gonna skip this one.
No. Answer the questions. Answer the question. We're dying to know.
All right, what's darker, black people or the bubonic plague?
Why does Bird Box have no birds in its scenes? Isn't that not true?
That's not true. It actually does, but it's like at the end of the movie when they find like that sanctuary and then they have birds. And you're like, well, that's not a box. Well, technically, it's a closed off area. Like, so there's birds in it. So technically a bird box.
I'm also going to say the fact that they went to a mall at one point and there was a bird and there was a parrot in the cage that was shown in the scene.
Was there?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Oh, yeah.
That's how they originally put the bird in the box. That's how they knew, because animals aren't affected. There was a parrot.
Okay. Want to see my secret freckle? No. Both had the same intrusive thoughts. No.
Can I go to Canada with you? The US sucks.
In the future, at some point, it all depends on how life treats us, but I do someday just want to take my friends and just go to Canada one day and just all hang out there for a bit.
Can I answer this question as well?
Yeah, go ahead.
Do you want to see my aunt and uncle? That's literally how I'm gonna answer it. Just like, you want to see my aunt and uncle? Because that's the only reason why I go to Canada.
I like Canada.
I like Canada too. It's a nice place. But
it's a nice place. So here's the thing: is that everyone likes it because it's nice and it's beautiful. The problem is that money difference wise from like the U.S. and stuff is that it costs a lot more to live in Canada than it is in the U.S.
I was just gonna say, like, I like the Canada, but like, I feel like everyone like their original place of home the best.
Oh well, that's true, but
Yeah,
again, a lot like my dad had said one time is like we're all young, so we're only shown so much, right? So when we move, we kind of want to move back, but then when you kind of move back there, it's like kind of want to live somewhere else. Right now, I'm like, and I can't say yes to that, and I can't say no because right now I'm still at that mentality state that I want to go back. But if I go back, you know, my mind can change. It can't. It won't. It all depends on the person. Do you want me to tell you what you want, what you really, really want?
So
tell me
what
what you
really,
really want. Yeah.
I tell you, I'm sorry.
Then you got to tell me what you want, what you really, really want.
I'll tell you what I want, what I really, really want.
I wanna. We got one last question, but I have to do something, so we'll be right back after these quick sponsors.
Yes.
And we are back. I think, hopefully.
We are.
Janet, can you check the footage? Are we good? We're good? Okay.
Wait. We have a personal Janet? Janet, I want some cookies. Nah, she said no.
Oh, well, that's a shame. Anyways, we're on our final question, right?
Yes.
All right. What is this big last question?
Oh shit, I'm the one reading this. When did you and Musical meet? For all the people who don't know the story.
So classic story. So
I'm gonna say this in chunks.
So do you want me to tell the side or do you want to tell your side first?
We're saying sides. I thought
we can.
We're gonna go back and forth with like chunks of it and like pause up parts, expecting the other person to finish it.
But then that'd be kind of like strange because then they're like, "What are we talking about?" Okay, I'll go first, and then you go. From how I physically remember it, a while back when I was in Canada, I was up one night and I was sitting down and there was this TikTok, and this TikTok was about this person making this this TV show. Okay, it was like a role play. It was like My Street that Afmal did, right?
Do you remember the username for them?
What was it?
I know. Do you want me to tell you it?
No. We'll hold off on it. You could tell that part in your story. So, she was saying we need people to help, create buildings, do character movement, voice acting. And at this point in time, I was kind of just like, I want to figure out what I'm trying to do with my life. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to do it. I'm going to join and try to do voice acting. And I had joined that night, and there was a lot of people just hanging out in call. And I remember her name. So because she was in the call, we were sitting there. Musical was there. Okay, it was late at night. Musical was there, but I didn't get to talk to Musical because there was a whole bunch of people there, and it was more of just trying to introduce like ourselves to everyone, right?
Yes.
The first time I had ever truly met and talked to Musical was one night. Not one night. No, yeah. It was in the morning. It was in the morning because we were sitting down and we were trying to do auditions, right?
Yeah, the
tryouts. We were doing tryouts and stuff. Just to kind of get a point on where we were gonna be, and then we would do auditions for specific characters. And while we were waiting, Musical had messaged in the server that he had a private Bed Wars thing, and whoever wanted to join could join and stuff like that. And I was sitting down, and I was like, well, I don't want to really like lose my spot and stuff. And at this point, I had looked into it, and I found out that I wasn't going to lose my spot because they weren't even doing it yet. I was sitting in a call that wasn't even ready. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to go hang out. So I went in there, and I got in, and there was less people, so it was like a 1v2v2v2, and I was kind of stuck because it had been so long since I played Bed Wars, and let alone it was private Bed Wars, so I didn't know how this worked. So I was just kind of sitting there, and they were like, all right, everyone, send me your YouTube names and this and that, blah, blah. So Musical added me, and we were sitting there in the Bed Wars lobby and stuff, and they were like, all right, choose your teammates and stuff. Musical was like that type of person that I'm gonna let everyone else choose, and then whoever's left, I'll either hang out with or I'll just like go by myself. And I had not answered, and the funny thing is that Musical didn't even realize that all the teams were full. So me and him got paired up instantly without him knowing and without me knowing. So we went into like separate calls, and he says, all right. He's like, all right, man. He goes like, we got this. And I said, we do? And he says, yeah, we're going to win this. We absolutely got our asses handed to us by Cheese. Cheese destroyed the entire lobby. When I say he was a sweat, I meant he didn't even protect his bed. He just went straight for the middle and straight for all of us. We had no chance of survival. But after that, everyone kind of left to go do their own thing. And Musical, same with Musical. But then Musical ended up messaging me one day, like a few days after, and he says, hey, I'm going to be playing some Bed Wars with like a few of my friends. I was wondering if you wanted to join and stuff. I was like, yeah, totally. And I ended up joining, and that was the day that me and him ended up becoming friends. And that's when I met Irenic and Nicole. And after that, it just went from on there.
Wait, so you know Nicole?
Yeah, that was one of the many few people I met, Irenic and Nicole.
I miss Ironic. Anyways, I also miss Nicole, but like, I'm sure she's fine. Anyways,
I think I saw her online one day, and I wanted to message. I was like, it'd be weird if she was like, "Who is this?" And I was like, "No."
She's on Instagram. I texted her like the last time I texted her was like a few months ago. Anyways, your story is actually very different from mine.
Oh boy.
So I was scrolling through TikTok, and as a beginner streamer, like who just streamed for the fun of it and make sure everyone was having a nice time and all that and such and such. I just was scrolling through TikTok, and I saw this big Minecraft project, and as a Minecraft streamer, I was like, this is where I can get my name out. I can join this, I can try out, and in the end, even if I don't get in, I have a community I have another community that I can redirect to my community because I'm selfish. But that was not the point of it. It was just to help out, see this series play out, and yeah, they made this. They were working on this series, this TikTok channel called Marrow Berries, and I joined into the server. And Monster can confirm this himself. I am a very talkative person, and I like talking to people, and I'm very like outgoing and charismatic. So majority of the time I was in there, I was in the VCs. And Monster is right that we were in VC with the owner Marrow Berries together. But where the story diverges is, I believe, during one of Marrow Berries' streams, which is where she was in a private call, so like we couldn't join it, and she was playing on this other server, not Hypixel, but it was called Shotbow US, and they're playing Super Smash Bros. Is I was in the call with a few other people, but Monster was one of them, and we were all playing to gang up on Marrow.
Nah, it can't be Smash Bros because I hate that version of Smash Bros. There's no way it was. I swear it was Bed Wars.
I know you hated it, but you still played it. Like you played it once or twice.
Did I? I swear it was. Like I said, we have both different stories. I swear we played Bed Wars. That's how we met. But if it's Smash Bros, then it's Smash Bros on your end.
I'm pretty sure it was Smash Bros because like I'm pretty sure everyone was there for it. Like at least played one game, and I'm pretty sure I was there for the one game. Why you disliked it is because after a while the server just didn't work for you. You kept on lagging out. So we switched to Bed Wars, which is where I assume the Bed Wars stuff happened. Which I'm gonna be honest, I have no recollection of. Like I do not remember any of the things said from the Bed Wars. So I was like, oh, I don't even know who had the private servers.
I thought it was you.
It wasn't me.
Oh, you know who I think it was? It was either Mr. Cheese or it was
Was it Taz?
Not Taz. I forgot what it was.
people are gonna be so confused because we're naming names that no one knows.
No, it was oh man, I can't remember, but it was who was close friends with Mr. Cheese. So Mr. Cheese ended up being friends with them, and it was her private server, and then I think she was kind of just like, oh yeah, we can do it. And I know it wasn't you. I remember it was not you because you didn't have ownership, like private servers. And how we played Bed Wars, it was because you, Irenic, and Nicole were playing one day, and then you were just looking for a fourth, and then I ended up answering.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Yeah, that's how it went.
I really do enjoy Monster and what he does for in his own community and mine. He is the head admin. The OGs of the OGs kept the server alive as much as possible, and I really respect that out of him. So, at the end of the day, bonus question, I guess. Do we regret? What do we feel about each other meeting, and like how do we feel about that? Like having each other in the streaming world and the online world.
The streaming online world.
I want to hear your opinion on
it. So when I first met Musical, right? I thought
sappy.
Here we go. So when I first met Musical, I thought he was pretty cool, right? And at this point in time, Discord was kind of new to me, right? So I didn't have that feature on where it's like, oh, I have to be friends with people for them to message me. So when Musical just instantly kind of just messaged me out of nowhere, I was like, why is this person messaging me? What is going on? I didn't accept any friend request or anything like that. So he was like, hey man, you want to play some Bed Wars? I was like, wow, this is the first time anyone's asking me if they want to play games, right? Because most of the time when I had met online people and online friends, it would always have to be, I would have to ask, and all the time they were kind of busy. So I was like, you know what, I'm going to take this opportunity. So when we hung out and played and stuff, it went pretty well and smoothly to the point where I was like, this person's kind of cool. And then I was like, all right. I was like, let it sit a few days and like, let's see if he invites me again or I can invite him. I ended up making the first step because I was in that kind of state where I'm like, all right, I'm going to wait a couple of days. And by a couple of days, I'm going to message him the next day. So I messaged Musical the next day. And of course, this is during summertime, so we're kind of free. And I was like, hey man, I had pretty fun time playing some Bed Wars yesterday. I was wondering if you were free and if you wanted to hang out and play. And he says, yeah man, he goes like, we could definitely do that. He's like, I'll let you know when I'm free and we can play. We ended up playing literally not even a full game. We literally got into the lobby, started talking, and then I was kind of in that situation where I sit down, my mom calls me, I get up, I come back to sit down, my mom calls me. So it went back and forth for both of us, and we just never played. We just sat there in Minecraft looking at each other, just talking to each other. And then the third time, I was invited to come play and hang out, was he added me to a chat. I didn't even know how he did it. He just added me and he says, and I quote in the chat, this is my new friend Monster. At this point, I didn't even know we were friends. We only hung out twice. And he's like, this is my new friend Monster. Everyone say hi. This is the chat where I met Ace, Irenic, and I met Irenic and Nicole back then, but this was more of getting to actually know them. And I think we added one more person, but I totally forgot who that was. And we ended up playing Prison. That prison map where you have to get to the train and then you win and everything. Was it Dylan? I think it might have been. I don't remember. Oh no, it was Bear. It was Bear. Yeah, it was Bear. And we all sat there, and it was funny because the first like 30 minutes that we were playing, we glitched the game to the point it stopped working, so we had to reset the whole server. And then ever since then, we just kept hanging out and stuff. And then we stopped talking for a bit. And then when I moved, like the day I had set up my computer and everything to start playing Minecraft again, Musical had messaged me the moment the computer turned on to like open up Discord and everything. And he says, hey man, you want to play some Bed Wars? I said, hell yeah. And then we just kept playing on from there. I mean, nowadays, you know, with life and stuff, we haven't been able to hang out as much, but it was awesome meeting him, and I still love hanging out with him.
Yay.
No way I just spent that whole time telling a story and your first reaction is, yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. Anyways, it's I guess it's my turn.
Mhm.
So basically, I met this loot. No, no, so basically, I'm gonna be honest. I think Monster has better memory than me because I cannot remember any of this. Most of these things were like blurry images in my head while he was explaining it and all that stuff. But yeah, the Monster is a really cool guy. Honestly, I enjoyed playing with him from the memories I do not no longer remember of playing with him. I do remember very much so that when I started the musical community server, which is my server, which Monster made one of his own later, which I'm very proud of him for. I didn't know what to do. I made channels and all stuff for everyone to have fun, but I didn't really know which direction to put it, and I was really worried about it because I was like, "Fuck, I don't know how to do Discord shit. I don't know how am I gonna keep the server like a good place for everyone to have fun and all that stuff if I don't know how to run it." And I'm very glad for the support that I had from everyone. The main person and the most important two out of the two were Phantasm and Monster. Some people might not know Phantasm, but that's not he's a side topic right now.
He's a side topic. He's gonna watch. He's like, I'm coming for you next musical.
He's gonna kick my ass for this fun. I'll apologize to him later. Monster did a lot for my Discord server, and even afterwards, he taught me a lot of things. He taught me a whole bunch of these Minecraft. He showed me a whole bunch of these Minecraft maps and a lot of fun games that we could have played because he didn't enjoy Bed Wars sometimes.
I suck.
But we played a whole bunch of other games. We played some survival too. We did a lot of things together, and I remember one of my favorite was doing proximity chat.
Oh yeah.
Not only for normal Minecraft survival, but we did hide and go seek with proximity chat on, and it was really fun. Monster basically runs my server, and he definitely taught me a lot of things that I probably wouldn't have known for like entertaining people. So I'm very grateful for having Monster in my as a viewer and as a friend. He is very cool. The thing that got me sweating while he was saying his story though was, "Hey, this is my friend," and I was like, "Wait, I'm your friend?" I was like, "Oh." I was sweating both. I was like, "Oh, that's awkward. You didn't see me as a friend either." But yeah, I really appreciate having each other. I think we both appreciate having each other. We taught each other a whole bunch of other stuff, and I guess in a sense, we pushed each other to become better entertainers than we were before.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're still a bitch though.
Okay.